Good afternoon, friends, followers, channel members. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. And yeah, it's Monday, so we are back. Still persisting with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 because, well, why not? Let's see if we can complete a flight without a crash to the desktop. I mean, I hope so. Today is a short flight. It's about 45 minutes flight time. We're in Bristol. We're heading up to the Isle of Man, which has got a nice little crosswind for us. It's only about 8 knots, but it's a good one. And the Isle of Man is lovely. There's, well, it would be if it wasn't sort of raining and low-level cloud. Typical for UK weather this time of year. Cat 1 approach as well, so yeah, should be good. We're in the Fenix aircraft as per usual. Operational flight plan is done and ready to go. So we'll talk through this. We'll get some. We'll decide on what fuel we're taking. We'll get the passengers on board, and yeah, we'll get going. So we'll have a look at my aircraft, and where are you? There we are. Yeah, Bristol. It's a sea of orange. A little bit earlier on, the sun was still just up when I was loading in, so the entire screen just looked orange, particularly with the Easyjet aircraft on screen as well. So, good evening, everyone coming in to join us. Hey, J-Hawk, Nick, Tired, Vince, Morgan, Bobby, Dr. Magic also as well. Nick also on Twitch. Good afternoon to you guys if you're watching over on the Purple as well. So, yeah, let's get in our aircraft and get going. I am on a bit of a time constraint today as well, which is normally we'd do a Monday evening stream. Something I can't do that today. But I did want to get a stream in, so here we are. The short hop up to the Isle of Man. Easyjet do fly this route. Not currently flying it over the winter, more of a summer route, which is why we're using our channel default call sign today of Easy34 Alpha Mike. But two airports that have sometimes windy, gusty conditions, so I thought that would be good fun for us today. GSX and the ground crew already they're already waiting to go. Look, nose wheel steering is already disconnected, which is interesting. I've not seen that before in the startup. There's some sort of bug going on, but never mind. As long as they disconnect that, otherwise it's going to be a very, very short stream. We're not going to end up going anywhere, but we shall see how that plays out. So first things first, we're obviously on turnaround phase. I've got the pumps off, external power is on, packs are off, APU is off, got the nav logo lights, they are on. Spoilers, lamps, parking brake, that's all fine. Squawking 2000, acupressure's not yet in the green. We'll get the ATIS in a moment, but let's go through our operational flight plan in a bit of detail, and it shouldn't take us too long. This is fairly straightforward. What is interesting today, we're in the A320, the Sharklet edition, and we've got a full payload as well. You can see there we are underloaded by 0. So a full payload, which is nice. Usual cost index. The alternate is Manchester. Well, that's the primary alternate. We've got Liverpool a little bit closer as well if we need it. We've got a headwind, which isn't helping my time constraints today. Now, the dispatcher must have been on something when planning the flight plan, because we never land on 08. Very, very rare to land on 08. And there's no reason to land on 08 because the winds are a direct crosswind, so it actually makes no difference which runway we're coming on. So our plug fuel is about 4.5 tons. CNR is 2.2, so that's our limit. That's our decision fuel. And we are probably, just because it's the Isle of Man, well, we can play it safe. Well, I say we can play it safe. Probably need to do a landing calculation, to be honest. So let's we'll do that in a minute. I'd like to take 5 tons of fuel, which means then our landing weight would be about, what's that, 3340. We could call it 64 tons. Yeah, so if we work on 64 tons for the landing, we need to check that that's going to work for us. We're not on 08, we're on 26. It is raining there as well, so we'll use good conditions. Apply the METAR. A landing weight of 64, because it's not the longest runway in the world. Flaps full. Auto brake medium. Yeah, so dispatch landing calculation, that's done. That'll get us in nice and safe. Just doing a little check here. Flaps full, medium. Basically, of course, that's a check that we do usually in the air to see if we're going to use either reverse or max reverse. It looks like max reverse is going to be used today. But yeah, I'm happy to take that fuel, and I'm happy that we're going to stop as well, which is always good news. So let's go back here, and yeah, I'm thinking 64 tons for the landing weight and 5 tons of fuel. So with that, let's check the rest of the stuff. Flight log, yeah, there's no terrain around, so happy to skip over that. That's the current forecast and weather in the Isle of Man. Looks fine. Yeah, nothing to concern yourself there. As I say, it's mainly just a crosswind, and that's all I'm looking for at the minute. Scattered 2,800 feet. That's plenty of time to drop out the cloud base and see the runway, so nothing wrong with that. Worst case scenario is the weather there. All of the alternates, they are Cat 1 as well, so they're fine. No TAMs for this. Avgas not available. Fair enough. Let's have a look, see if there's anything else. ILS, glide path, fluctuations may be experienced when taxiing aircraft or transitioning through a sensitive area. Right, okay, well, we're not using that runway today anyway. And let's just have a look. And there's no TAMs there either. That's fine. ATC flight plan. Let's have a look at the weather charts. So that is our flight route. We'll fly straight over Wales, straight line, and then out towards the Isle of Man near Liverpool. No en route weather to worry about either, so everything there looks pretty straightforward, which is great. So in terms of the fuel, we'll get that loaded. We'll start getting the passengers on board, and as I've just said, I'd like 5 tons of fuel, please. Hopefully GSX, even though they're poised and ready to go, it seems. Hopefully that will reset itself, and let's see if they start to play ball. Something's happening down there. Someone's opened the cargo door, so that will do. ADC, good to see you guys. That's opened as well. Lovely. Okay, so I think, fingers crossed, we're all okay. We've got a bit of ATC knocking about as well. So let me grab the ATIS 126030, and I will listen to that.
Bristol information, acknowledge receipt of information Alpha and advise aircraft type on first contact, time 1550 Zulu, automatic, runway in use 27 transition level 70 wind 280 at 16, visibility 10 kilometers or more, ceiling 1700 overcast, temperature 7, dew point 5, QNH 1016. For clearance, contact Bristol radar 125.650, threshold elevation 601 feet.
That's fine. We've got our cabin crew working for us as well today, so afternoon, Caroline. We're all ready to get set up here, so if you want to start the boarding process, please. Organ, I am using Pilot Plus as Bristol. That is correct.
Okay, Captain. I'll start the boarding process now. Cabin crew, please prepare for boarding.
Wow, she sounds like she's in a rush. Fantastic. Maybe she knows that we're going to be late. So, let's go through the setup. So, 1016, that's fine. Audio control panel. Make sure we're monitoring the guard frequency. There we are. Switching panel. Thrust levers, engine board mass selection. That's fine as well. Acupressure is now in the green, whereas the cargo doors have been opened. So, the constraints on here. Can't remember the climb out. I think it's 4,000. I'll check the chart in a moment. So, let's just log in here. No West Country voices, David. No, sorry, mate. Right, init data request. Let's get that set up. I believe we've still got an old AirX cycle in the Phoenix. Double check that in a moment. So IRS, 3 now greens. Aircraft status. Yeah, still the old cycle at the moment. Never mind, can't do anything about that at the minute. I think that's a Phoenix thing though, because the all the other aircraft in the sim, the default aircraft, all use the valid AirX cycle. Right, so let's do our init request and sort that. Jonathan, a few people asking me if I can make a video with regards to configuring the Thrustmaster for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. The issue I've got with that is it's all been done pretty much automatically as soon as I plugged it in, so I don't know, I'm kind of struggling to see what some of the issues are. That's not to say there aren't any issues. Lots of people, I might have just been incredibly lucky on how that's worked, but everything seems to be pretty straightforward to me, but a lot of people asking me about that, so we might have to have a look at creating a short video on that, as you're certainly not on your own. As if I don't fly for any virtual airline, I'm afraid I'm not. I do not. Stephanie, if we go to the settings, the Phoenix app will open again. So the Phoenix app should run in the background if you're talking about the one that actually makes all the aircraft work. So the IRS in 5123 to 42, they're all okay. So we're cruising today, nice and low cruise level, 22,000 feet. And that's a temperature of 30. So we're departing, it'll be off to 7, Brecon 1 X-ray departure, and then the Isle of Man is quite funky, there are no arrivals, so we just sort of vector ourselves on the ILS 26, there you go, look, no star, and no veer. Insert that. So this should be, I've got the operational flight path's got 220 miles, I've got 224 miles, perfect. RadNav page, we've got back in VOR, which is fine, that's what we use. Let's have a look then at the load sheet. Hopefully that has been sent. Danny, do I know when the patch update will come? Isn't there a patch for FlightSim 2024 on the 9th of November, if memory serves? As for do I ever fly the 737? God no, it's a Boeing. Load sheet is here. Right, so we've got 0 fuel weight of 61. Yeah, maximum today. Lots of people going to the Isle of Man for some reason. It's just accept that. 0 fuel weight is 32.5. That's the CFG, of course. Fuel for the alternate is 1.2 tons. And do fuel planning. We are taking 5 tons of fuel. Always worth noting down these numbers here, 32.5, and the takeoff weight of CFG is 31.1. Remember, it's the takeoff CFG 31.1 that we use for our takeoff performance calculations. Block fuel 4.2, excellent. We're taking 5 tons, which will then give us a takeoff weight of 65.8. So we are over our max landing weight. We need to bring that into the brief a little bit later. So 65.8, and we've got 22 minutes of extra fuel endurance on board. Lovely. Okay, so now we've got all that info onto our perf page, and let's go and do the arrival. Do the departure performance. So it is dry here. That's good. We've got all config 1. No risk to force toga. Anti-ice will be off. Yes, it's below 10 degrees, but the cloud base is quite high, so it's okay. Anti-ice will be off. Packs will be off as per usual. Takeoff weight is 65.8. The CFG, we've just noted down, is 31.1. Sync live weather. In section data, we can use Bravo figures. And I am going to cheat a little bit just because we are pushed for time tonight. I'm going to send all those to the box, so that should populate. There we go. So we've got 121, 122, 126. It's flaps 1, flex of 53, transition altitude 6,000 feet, thrust reduction, acceleration, altitude. Now, the servers, for anyone who uses SimSmart, the servers for SimSmart were being moved onto a new server. So. Yeah, so SimSmart's not currently active at the moment, so if I just go into my documents, let me just grab the thrust reduction, acceleration and engine out information for Bristol. Where are we? Right, okay, so thrust reduction, acceleration, altitude is 1403, 1403. And the engine out is also 1403. There's no terrain ahead of us. In fact, we take off and the land drops away beneath us, right into the estuary. So that's okay. So thrust reduction, acceleration, engine out. That's all in. And the secondary flight plan, we'll copy that. And it's a non-standard engine out procedure here. Non-standard. Oh, okay. 2,500 feet is a left turn back to the Bristol NDB. Fine. BRI. Get that in. Enter the hold. Inbound course for the hold is 090. And it is left turns. Okay, I have to leave that for the moment. I've not got this set up for the arrival. In fact, oh no, let's do it. Echo Golf Golf Delta is the destination. If we've lost an engine or we need to get back quickly, ILS-27, no star, and we do have a approach set up from the Bristol NDB, which is just over the airfield, so that's all set up, and yeah, there it is, that looks fine. Cool. Happy with all of that. That's the box set up. All we need to do is go through the charts in a moment. The only other thing I need to do then is contact our air traffic control, so we'll give them a call. Bristol, good evening, Easy 34 Alpha Mike. Stand 9 A320 with information Alpha requesting IFR clearance to the Isle of Man.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, Bristol radar, good evening. You're clear to Isle of Man. It's Brecon 1 X-ray departure, runway 27, squawk 3453.
Cleared via the Brecon 1 X-ray, runway 27 and squawk 3453, Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
34 Alpha Mike, correct. Secure H1016, no delay.
QNH1016, Cockpit, thanks so much. Easy 34 Alpha Mike. Right, we haven't got any passengers coming on board yet. I think GSX has bugged out a little bit for some reason. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I haven't got any fuel on being boarded, so there's definitely something gone wrong with that. We might have to do the old mass balance page. Hang on. In fact, instead of doing that, just 1 minute. I want some fuel, otherwise it's going to be a really, really rubbish flight.
Bristol radar, Easy 72 Golf Tango, request our clearance to Isle of Man as filed.
Easy 72 Golf Tango, I've not got a flight plan for you.
Easy 72 Golf Tango, sorry about that, I will just file it right now.
Roger.
Right, there we go. The aircraft's now loaded. Yeah, not quite sure what GSX is doing.
Easy 72 Golf Tango, have you got the flight plan?
Yeah, I've got continue pushback.
72 Golf Tango A firm, it's flagging an issue, but I'll just double check it and I'll get...
Oh well, hopefully we'll use it for the pushback. Alright, so everything in the box is what ATC has just given us, so I think we can move on with briefing there. Alright, so today's flight, A320, we've got the chocolate version, and we don't have any real weather to worry about. It's nice and dry here. Weather in Isle of Man is good, light crosswind, but it should be okay. No weather en route either. Aircraft is fully serviceable, apart from the weather radar. We've got no NOTAMs to worry about. Let's have a look at the planned departure and taxi, etc., and what we can expect. So, we're parked stand 9. We've got a very short taxi. We've pushed back facing south. We've said we can take Bravo, so Bravo Alpha. Both of those will work for us. So first little threat there. Very, very short taxi. So once we push back, we'll basically run through everything. Then we'll make the taxi because we won't have time to do it once we're moving. Then let's have a look at the departure itself. So here's the departure chart. We're on the Brecon 1 X-ray departure, which is just here. So we're climbing straight out, and our initial climb is 6,000 feet. The transition altitude for this is also 6,000 feet. MSA as we go, just zoom out a bit, we'll find it, is 3,000 feet. We've got no speed restrictions, and yeah, and that turn basically begins once we are, if I turn the LS on, there we go, into Bravo, Tango Sierra. Once we're 5.2 miles out, that is where that turn begins. There's a right turn, climb 6,000 feet as we've just seen. No turns below 1130, that's fine. Do not climb above 6,000 without ATC. Usual things, max speed, 250 below, fly over 100, and that is about it. So, that's straightforward. Autopilot will love this flight. In terms of threats, anything like that, no real threats. It's nice and straightforward. The biggest threat is the short taxi. Don't rush anything. Get everything done whilst we're stationary. Then we'll make the very, very short taxi and get going. The other thing to mention about Bristol, for anyone who knows it, it is built on top of the hill, so if the wind blows, sometimes you can feel it, so just be aware of getting a little bit of wind once we're on the takeoff roll, which is fine. Engine out procedure then. So engine out procedure is non-standard. Should we lose an engine after V1, the procedure is to make sure we pull that heading bug so we continue straight out 2,500 feet. We're going to make a left turn back to the Bristol NDB, and then we've got the second flight plan to activate, and we'll return to Bristol. Okay, so I think that is covering pretty much everything. I'm just getting the APUs on, because hopefully we're ready to go in a couple of minutes. So we've got that chart there, we've got that chart there. Lovely. I love having these charts. This EFB, having the charts on here is just fantastic. My apologies if I'm not seeing the chat too much just whilst we're getting set up to go. Company message, hopefully that is our final company message for loading. Let's just double check that. Yeah, so that is our final takeoff. So, zero fuel, where's this one? Yeah, takeoff is 65.8, perfect, and we're full. 30.7 is our takeoff C of G, and 32.0. Yeah, so no LMCs, all our takeoff performance calculations are within our limits, and it's all working for us without having to redo anything again, so that is brilliant. Alright, I'm just waiting for the APU to fire up. Check the fuel. We've got 5 tons loaded and it's all balanced. Excellent. APU is running. Fuel's loaded, so the fuel pumps can come on. External power, I'll get that disconnected. Seatbelt signs are now on. Let's turn the brightness of that down a little bit. I think. Hey guys, we're all ready to go back here, so we're going to make sure the cabin is all ready for departure. We'll be pushing back very shortly. Crew ready to go.
Okay, Captain. I'll ensure the cabin is ready for departure. Cabin crew, please prepare for pushback.
Right, all doors are closed, and let's do the cockpit prep checklist. So the aircraft acceptance, that's been completed. Fuel quantity is 5 tons, that's set and balanced. Seatbelt signs are on. It is, we are the 3 nav greens, QNH is 1016, 600 feet. Perfect. So parking brake is set, company message, just need to check this, just to clear these out. I don't need to read them, they're just all load sheets. There we go. APU is available. It's been a minute or so, so let's get the APU bleed on. I'll give it another minute and then we'll put one of the packs on as well. And yeah, we're good to go. Nick says she sounds efficient. I've had Nick from Lufthansa. She's very efficient. She's very efficient. I've told her that we're in a rush today. I haven't got time to mess about. Bristol Easy34 Alpha Mike, stand 9's ready for push and start.
Easy34 Alpha Mike, Roger, do you have an aircraft ahead of you on stand 10?
We do, yes, Easy34 Alpha Mike.
34 Alpha Mike, Roger. In that case, then, slight delay, just got traffic company behind you to taxi out, nothing more than 2 minutes.
Roger, we'll wait for company traffic, thanks. I believe this is a static aircraft. I can't remove this, it's not one on... I should have told him, I don't mind driving through him. he is not really there. Nian, what's my opinion on cloud streaming? When it works, it's fine, but when it works is a big when. Engine on board, good evening to you. Roderick, am I flying in real time? Yeah, real time, real weather. That's how we always tend to usually do things. And Marky says, good evening from Finland. Any plans to do some winter Easyjet?
Easy-72 Golf Tango, we are ready for taxi.
72 Golf Tango, roger taxi, holding point Alpha X-ray, runway 27.
I'll announce this now for you.
Taxi, holding point Alpha X-ray, runway 27.
On our
Easy-72
Discord.
Golf Tango.
on December the 18th. December the 18th is our full day of streaming when we do our special Lapland flight. Get that in your diaries now. We'll have dozens of giveaways, things like that. It's usually really good fun as we head up to Lapland for our Christmas special flight. So, yeah. Route's not planned, but we're definitely going to Lapland. So don't miss that one.
Tax 2177, radar, hello, readability 5.
Channel 2177 is
Hey, Will, I do like Bristol. We've not been here for a while, to be fair, but good to be back. Colin, I use Entourage from Say Intentions, which you can get from the contrail store as well.
2177, Roger.
Using that
back.
discount code at the bottom.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, stand 9er, push and start approved, QNH 1016.
Stand 9, push approved, and QNH is 1016, copy Easy 34 Alpha. Right, come on, GSX, please work. Beacon light is on.
At Easy 70 Golf Tango, got nothing inbound for a while, so via Alpha X-ray, line up runway 27 and report ready.
Release parking brakes.
Line up runway 27
Do you even know
and
where I'm
report
going?
ready. Easy 72 Golf Tango.
Where's he going to push me? He's asked me to release the parking brakes. I've not even told him
Release parking brakes.
where to go. Intro pushback. No. Oh, hang on. Change direction. That's a good idea. Change direction. Tail left. There we go.
Release parking brakes.
Right, before start, check the centre of the parking brake is currently on, obviously. Takeoff data has been confirmed. We'll check it again as now per new SOPs. 121, 122, 126. Windows are closed. PEDs are on flight mode. Doors are closed and armed. Beacon is on. Parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Andy, Wednesday the 18th of December. Engine mode selected to ignition and engine 1 start. Where are we going? Where are we going? Oh god, the truck driver's drunk again. He's already on the Christmas eggnog.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Easyjet UK Flight 1964, departing from Bristol to the Isle of Man. My name is Caroline and I am your lead flight attendant today. Joining me are my fantastic crew members, James, Lucy, Mark and Sophie. We are thrilled to have you with us. Before we take off, I'd like to go over some important safety information. First, please ensure your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your
Easy
lap.
72 Golf Tango, we're ready for departure.
72 Golf Tango, roger, the surface wind 280 degrees 14 knots, runway 27, clear for takeoff.
Pull the mask towards
Clear
you.
takeoff, runway 27, Easy 72 Golf Tango.
And secure it with the elastic band
FedEx 2177, check your flight plan, ready to copy your clearance.
before assisting others.
Engine 1 available, starting engine 2.
FedEx 2177, you're cleared to your destination on the Brecon 1 X-ray departure, Squawk 7314.
Inflate the vest by pulling the red
Flight
tabs
destination
or by
by the
blowing
Brecon
the
1 X-ray
trigger.
departure,
For your
Squawk
safety,
7314,
there are emergency
2177.
exits
FedEx 2177, correct.
middle and rear of the aircraft.
Hey, Redman, he says that'll be some scrumpy cider at this neck of the woods causing that wobble.
Set
Yes,
parking brakes.
Flight time.
I do like cider. Parking brake on.
Thank you for your attention and we hope you have a pleasant flight with us today. Captain, the cabin is ready.
So just wait for engine 2 to start up. Slightly late with the time in there, but it's okay. Max, will we be doing the return? No, sadly, afraid not. Afraid not. Engine number 2 available.
Unlocking gear.
Fluffy Duck, I use the Thrustmaster Airbus TCAE and the Captain's Pack. My weapon of choice, of course, for Airbus flying.
70 Golf Tango, report the passing altitude, climb now, flight level 130.
Disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Easy 72 Golf Tango, we're passing 3,000 feet. Could you say again the cleared altitude?
Climb flight level 130.
Terrain climb flight level 130, Easy 72 Golf Tango.
Right, tug drivers moved, so let's go through the flows. And good engine starts. Engine mode selector back to normal. APU off, anti-ice not required. APU master is off. One pack is on, that's fine. And then we arm the spoilers, zero the rudder, flaps 1 for departure, set our trim. Okay, I have to start checklist. Anti-ice is off. Ecom status is checked. Of course, we've got master caution. Let's clear that. There we are. Ecom status pack 2. Yeah, that's fine. Pitch trim is 30.7 and rudder is neutral. Okay, let's do our flight control checks then now. Just realised we've got a master caution.
72 Golf Tango, route direct, VATSIM.
Okay, flight control checked, and full left, full right, and neutral.
Direct 2 dozen easy,
Full
72
up.
Golf Tango.
Full down, neutral rudder, full right, full left, and neutral. So no change to our departure. Engine out procedure non-standard. Pull the heading 2,500 feet left turn back to the NDB over the airfield. Hold 3,000 feet. Departure is Brecon 1 X-ray. It's going to be straight out. Turn once we are 5.2 miles out. It's a right-hand turn and the initial climb 6,000 feet. Noise abatement 2. Easy 3-4 Alpha Mike ready for departure and we can depart from Bravo.
Easy 3-4 Alpha Mike, roger, taxi holding point Bravo, runway 27.
Holding point Bravo for runway 27, easy 3-4 Alpha Mike. Right, tax lights on. Master brake, weather radars, TO config, and it's going to be a very short taxi. So, taxi checklist, flight controls checked, flap settings config 1, FMA is 121 blue, 126 magenta, climbing up blue, 152, 6000 blue, radar amplitude wind shear on, engine
East Golf Tango, climb flight level
Ecam
150.
memo, just waiting for the cabin.
Climb flight level
EFB
150,
stowed.
easy 72 Golf Tango.
Cabin crew seats for departure, please. So just keep an eye on that
Cabin crew,
Ecam
take
memo.
seats for departure.
Just need them to hurry up with that. Hey, Bobby Fuzzy's in the chat. Hey, Bobby. Good to see you again, my friend. Fluffy, I like the TCA.
Easy 72 Golf Tango,
Works for me.
continue climb with Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
Thanks to Unicom 122.8, thanks very much, easy 72 Golf Tango, goodbye.
Vipers Racing, yeah, there's a bit of an issue with the bloom on the lights, particularly the blue lights. Green lights I can live with, but the blue are very, very bright. Will, I'm just being lazy and pushed for time, so anything I can do to save time, I'm going for it today. Come on, cabin crew. I don't think we've got anything coming in.
Easy 3-4 Alpha Mike, I've not got you displaying on my radar screen, just confirm your transponders on.
1-6, stand by, easy, 3-5 Mike. Right, mode C should be on. We might have to just do it manually, maybe it's a Phoenix thing. And easy 3-4 Alpha Mike, is that any better?
Just stand by while it takes a little time to update when the transporter's turn on, I'll call you back.
Not had an issue before, although I think the Phoenix has had a slight update. Hopefully they've not broken anything. There we go. So Eco Memo takeoff no blue is complete. FSX Fleet, what's my FPS? Honestly, I do not know. I try not to monitor them. All I'm looking for is a smooth, enjoyable performance. That's kind of what I'm looking for, rather than trying to look at
3-4
FPS.
Alpha Mike, it looks like it's not correlating the squawk code that you've got set. I can't see what you've got set. Just check the squawk 3453 for me, please.
That's why you can't see it, because I forgot to set it. Apologies. Easy 3-4 Alpha Mike.
We've all done it.
3, 4, 5, 3. And that should be coming through for you now. Easy 3-4 Alpha Mike. First officer's job. And he's in the
3-4 Alpha
bathroom.
Mike, thank you. Got you now. Are you ready for departure?
Affirm. Easy 3-4 Alpha Mike.
34 Alpha Mike, Roger, 5 Bravo X-ray, runway 27, you're clear for takeoff. Surface wind 280 degrees, 14 knots.
3 Bravo, clear takeoff runway 27, easy 34 Alpha Mike. Righty hoes, let's go.
Fenix 2177, stand 33, ready for push.
Fenix 2177, sorry, say again, was that for push?
Affirm.
Fenix 2177, Roger, stand 33 east, correction, west, push and start approved for runway 27, QNH 1016.
Alright, so approach path is fine, all the lights are on, we're lit up, line up checklist. Cabin's secured now for takeoff. Takeoff runway via Bravo, runway 27. TCAS, we've got TARA, packs 1 and 2, both off. Airbus rules are worse as the FO needs another sim section. Well, they keep changing the blooming flows. Actually, they don't change them that often. Some things change. Right, those runway lights look beautiful, those clouds look amazing. Let's hope Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 will survive. And take off. Start the chrono. So we've got 50% set, stable, set takeoff thrust. Man flex, SRS, and runway, auto thrust zoom. Here comes the hill. 100 knots. V1, rotate. Beautiful. And there's the hill, the land now, if you can just see it dropping away beneath us. Positive climb, gear up. Nice headwind, help us there. Let's use that wind climbing, almost a direct headwind. Nav. Thrust climb, climb. That night lighting looks superb. Don't you think?
At 83.4 Alpha Mike, report your passing altitude, climb now, flight level 150.
Just clean up, passing airspeed, flap 0, spoilers disarmed. Autopilot engaged. Easy 3-4 Alpha Mike, passing 2,800, climbing flight level 150.
At 83.4 Alpha Mike, on passing altitude 4,000 feet, you can turn right direct DISM.
After passing altitude 4,000, right turn direct DISM for Easy 3-4 Alpha Mike. That's coming up. That's 4,000 feet then. So. There we go. Get the beam points in. And there's the direct. So 5,000 feet. We'll just check we've got the spoilers, flaps, landing gear. Can now get rid of this, don't need that. Landing lights can also come off. And 50 blue. Just got the reflection of the clouds out of the other window, which I'm sure Phoenix will fix at some point, just the way that Flight Sim 2024 sort of renders the reflections. It basically just reflects a little bit too much, doesn't it? Go through the cloud layer, check the temperature. We need a little bit of anti-ice, which we do. So we'll just get that on. Although we didn't need that for very long. Get rid of that now. We're in blue sky again. Colin says he's been keeping away from flights in 2024 due to crashes and bugs, but you have to admit the scenery is amazing. I do think that the scenery does look much better than 24, but I do think they need to make the seasons a little bit more Rex Accu-season in the way that that looks. Right, that is flight level 100, so the airport's onto our EFIS. Our lights are already off. Nav can be cleared out. Actually, I didn't put anything in that, so we don't need that.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, got nothing further to effect. Continue with the Unicom 122.8. Have a good flight. Bye-bye.
122.8. Thanks so much for the service, Easy 34 Alpha Mike. Good night.
I'd like to let you know that our onboard Wi-Fi service is now available. Thank you.
So, flight level 220 is going to be fine for us. I knew it would be. We're not.
Fenix 2177, taxi Alpha X-ray runway 27. Report
Open
ready.
climb 220.
Alpha X-ray 27, report ready.
Yeah, so that's fine. During the climb, then cost index to 0. Single flight path, yeah, completely active, and that is us done. Everything's looking beautiful.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, London Control, contact Cardiff approach on 119.155.
Okay, we don't want to say intentions air traffic control tonight. We will just use their cabin service. They're going to have to work really fast tonight on the short flight that we've got. The systems on the ECAM, is that just the side stick? Oh yeah, not too worried about that. So yeah, we just relax during the takeoff bit now, monitor the climb, get the weather. We won't have that much time, of course. It's not a very long flight. Sort of half an hour. We'll be on the approach, which is great. It's exactly what we want. With short hop, real ops flight, which means the workload is usually quite high, but it means you don't have time to get bored here, so that's always a bonus. HDLZ, have I seen the FS Labs? Yeah, they've been making announcements, haven't they? It is going to be very interesting comparing Phoenix to FS Labs. I think those of you that have grown up flying X-Plane and FS Labs will probably prefer that over the Phoenix. Those Microsoft Flight Simulator guys, I've always tended to be MSFS, probably prefer the Phoenix. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how much detail they go into, because let's face it, Phoenix have set that bar incredibly high. So, yeah, definitely going to be interesting. Captain Jepson, does CPTLC work in Flight Sim 24? I believe it does. We are not switched on to it because we're not under any control on it, any longer control. But yeah, I believe it does. It all depends on the aircraft rather than, because CPTLC is nothing to do with Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's all to do with the online networks. That looks gorgeous. I can't think of anything bad about that. RSMI side stick sensitivity settings for Flight Sim 2024 are the default ones. So yeah, Mr. Anthrism, sorry I missed that question. Is this Pilot Plus's Bristol Airport? It is, which is obviously 2020 scenery. We are in 2024. Seemed to work very well though, didn't it? It looked alright. Everything was where we needed it to be, so that's good. Ross Jackson says, this is so interesting, you've just got started looking across to the PPL in career mode. Yes. Well, keep working, you'll be in the jets in no time. Although I'm not actually flying in career mode. So, just keep an eye on the primary flight display, but just to sort of move on to the sort of the approach and how we're going to handle that going into the Isle of Man. So there are no instrument approaches or anything like that of the Isle of Man. So we are just going to be an ILS approach runway 26. The idea will be that we will just, in fact, do we even come in via Kelly? No, we're coming over Lusod, wherever that is. I'll look in a minute. But essentially, we're just going to vector ourselves in for the ILS approach, which is fine. Air traffic control would normally do that. But we'll get to cruise, which won't take us very long. And then, in fact, we're nearly there now. And then we'll go through things like fuel checks, setting up the approach, and just basically talking through how we're going to do it. And then what we've got to do after that is execute it. Right, that is speed alt star. Plusmark flight details overlay has crashed or other issues. There's always been issues, even in flights from 2020. It's not the most robust of systems. I'll try and restart it in a moment. But that's speed alt cruise, so set TCAS now to below. We are we're going to a DISM, so at DISM let's do a fuel check. So just grab the operational flight plan, bring that up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached cruising altitude on Easyjet UK flight 1964, departing from Bristol to the Isle of Man. We will begin our snack and drink service shortly, and I must say, our cheese and ham sandwich is quite popular, along with our refreshing soft drinks. After the service, we will also have items available from the Easyjet shop for you to browse. Thank you for your attention, and enjoy the flight.
Love the fact that she's trying to push the cheese and ham sandwich. So at DISM, we've got 700 kilograms extra fuel on board. So at DISM, we should have about 3.8 tons on board. Looks like we're going to have close to that, like 4 tons. So that's fine. Happy with the fuel. That's exactly as needed. Mad Max pilot, hey guys, and Klaus Frat, good afternoon, evening to you. Organ says 08 is in use. Yeah, it might be for light aircraft. I'm not taking the 320 into that. Not when there's no real need. Klaus, mate, thank you for the resub. Really appreciate that. In terms of the charts for the Isle of Man. So, what's the weather doing? Winds 330 at 8. Yeah. If the winds are 330 at 8, we're not using runway 08. That would make no sense using 08. You'd have a little bit of a tailwind. So we want a little bit of a headwind, but it's mostly crosswind. And 26 is the preferred runway anyway, Organ. So. If you're flying a Cessna or something like that, then weather like this, it doesn't really matter. But we'll stick with the preferred runways. Start setting the box for that as well in a minute. Logan Air are taking their ATRs into the Isle of Man at the moment on 08. I would imagine it's not going to be long before they change that, given the wind conditions. I'm surprised actually that they are taking the ATRs in with even a hint of a tailwind. Let's face it, they bounce around all over the place. Northern says the stewardess seems quite enthusiastic. Well, you know, she's on the last shift of the day. She's looking forward to getting home. Mad Max, are those Lido charts? They are indeed, yes. Yeah. And the Lido charts are free. Well, they're part of Microsoft Flight Simulator, which obviously you have to pay for, but indeed. David says his first real flight was a flight to Ronald's Way, which is the Isle of Man, of course. Even shorter than this flight. Oh, yeah, Liverpool to... he's out from Blackpool. It takes you about 10 minutes, doesn't it? So let's just show you sort of the plan. We'll go through the whole box setup and see how we do that. So, come here, how do you get the Varo values and the Varo charts? I will show you in a moment. So, Oh, in the Lido charts. Yeah, I shall show you that in a minute. Right, so if I just pop onto plan mode, here is our plan. So there's Wallasey, which is near the Mersey, the River Mersey, if you know it. And our plan will be from... I'm going to leave Digma, we're going to head north, and then we're going to vector ourselves in for an ILS approach onto 26. And we'll just sort of confirm this in a minute. Yeah, there we are, look. So I want the headwind. So it is a headwind on 26. Isle of Man's not that busy that they can't change their runway direction for us, so that's fine. I already did this landing calculation as well, so we are going to be using max reverse, because basically we tested it with medium to poor. Obviously that is not the condition, but if you see the test and see that you need more, basically more runway, then the idea is to always use max reverse for that. As you can see, just tap on that. Oh, that's idle reverse. Max, medium, manual landing. And we know we can actually stop because the weather is, it has been raining, so we're going to go runway condition 5, and that's what we need for that. Get rid of max reverse. Pop that to idle and idle. Flaps full. I'm not sure flaps 3 are going to help us today, so no, it's going to be a flaps full landing, which is a shame because I do like flaps 3. It's a bit easier. So yes, that's the that's sort of the route I'm going to take and the plan. So let's go through the box and set that up then. We are flying in real time, that is right. So leave the box set up as it is for now with regards to that. So we want the Isle of Man VLR, get that in there. File 220, which is Echo Golf November Sierra, runway 26. Cost index back to 4, of course, now we're in the cruise. Looking to land with 3 tons of fuel on board, that is 64 tons for landing, that's what we banked on, so that's fine. Second flap, copy that. Right, let's have a look then at getting all this information into the box. So, actually, if I use this chart, we've got all the information here, haven't we? So, QNH at the moment is 1018. The temperature is 6 degrees. Winds are 8 from 330. And let's just have a look at an arrival chart to get the barrel. So, we are on the ILS 26. Which is here. The weather is Cat 1, so we're doing a Cat 1 approach. 240 are our minimums. So basically it's the big dark numbers in bold that we're using. The runway is quite short here, Mad Max. Yeah, it's not the shortest, but it is short. So 240. Transition altitude is 3,000 feet. Vipers, I use Entourage from Say Intentions. It's basically AI, which is awesome. So I can say to her, "Hey Caroline, any chance I could get a quick glass of water if you're not busy?" Hopefully she's not too busy.
Of course, Captain, I'll bring that right up for you.
She's beautiful. She sounds very enthusiastic, as someone mentioned earlier. Lovely. So all of the boxes set up. We're going to do a flaps full landing, and now we can basically we'll just go through the approach. So start with the weather, which we've just been looking at. So yeah, it's a bit drizzly and it's raining, so runway is wet. We should drop out the clouds about 2,500 feet, so plenty of time. Last Cat 1 approach. Wind is a slight crosswind from the right, crosswind headwind from sort of the as we're flying towards the runway. It's sort of like a 1-2 o'clock location, so dragging crosses that way, but it's not too bad. It's only about 8 knots. Visibility is fine, so yeah, standard British. Aircraft is still fully serviceable. We've not broken anything. No notes in the Isle of Man to worry about. Then let's have a look at the approach. So I've said navigation-wise how we're going to fly the approach once we leave. come on, flight embed. Once we leave Degmar, then at that point we're going to take a northerly route and pick up the ILS approach just here. That is our plan. It looks a bit weird because there's no arrival routes for the Isle of Man. Air traffic control wouldn't normally give you radar vexels, so that's why it looks a bit odd. So that's how we're going to fly it. We can also help with sort of our descent profile. Let's pop in the Isle of Man. Echo Golf November Sierra runway 26. The platform altitude for this approach is 2,000 feet. That's quite low, so I'm going to go 9 miles. We'll set up ourselves for the 9-mile final, so we want to be 3,000 feet and 9 miles, which is normal for a 3-degree approach. And if we zoom in, let's just double check, that is indeed a normal 3-degree approach, so that's fine. Other things then to have a look at for this runway. So 3-degree approach, 3-degree Pappies on the left. Displace threshold as well, so little caution there. We've got the minimums in at 320. MSA as we're approaching is 2,600 feet. Alternate procedures, arrivals not below 3,000 feet. Yeah, that's fine. That's exactly what we're doing. We've got the Isle of Man VOR in as well, so that's all okay. And the go around. So the go around is straight out, and then at 2,000 feet it's a left-hand turn, and we go direct to the Ronald's Way NDB, climb 3,000 feet. So straight out, left turn at 2,000 feet, holding NDB, which should probably be in the box anyway. Yeah, there is. So that's the runway's VO1. 3,000 feet there. Stuff. Once we've landed, ground chart. I can't remember the taxiway limitations on this. Kite surfing. That's not going to be us today. Looking for I was looking for a max wingspan, but I think we can basically take we can take Bravo. We'll Easyjet. I think they usually park on the east apron. However, if we can get off at Charlie, great. If not, we'll get off at Bravo and I'll just park at the west apron because, as I said, I'm a bit pushed for time this evening. Right, so that's all set up. We know what we're doing. All we have to do now is do it. Estimated time for landing is 17:37. However, we can just close that down a little bit. So I said that at was it at Digma? The name of the waypoint. Yes, at Digma we were going to fly north. So I'm actually going to go from Digma, get rid of Urdu, get rid of Lusod, get rid of the Isle of Man, clear that discontinuity, and that just helps us with our descent profile as well. 91 miles to go, and yeah, there you go, it's just got a little bit of time off as well, which is perfect. So looking to land in about half an hour. Hey guys, just letting you know that we should be landing on time in about half an hour.
Thanks for the update, Captain. I'll prepare the cabin for landing shortly.
Aurelia James says, hi Easyjet Pilot, thank you for your videos on how to flare the Phoenix. Oh, you're more than welcome. I do find it feels a little bit different in flights in 2024. That's the team probably just still tweaking things with regards to that. I actually find that it overflares a little bit, so that's something else I don't want to do. I don't want to overflare this. Let's talk about the threats then on our arrivals. So biggest threat for us, there's a little bit of terrain to the west and north and northwest, that sort of sector of the airport, which is why the go-around has us doing a left turn if we have to go around. It's a runway which, in the dark, there's no land before it either. Not that I recall. So there is the potential for that black hole effect. So we really need to fixate on those pappies, make sure they're not moving up or down in the screen. Something which is very easy to lose yourself in if you're not careful. So that black hole effect. So hopefully we'll be on with that. We'll be focused on the batteries. Make sure it doesn't move. Jake, have we tried porting any of the freeware airports over from 20 to 24? Well, Jake, funny you should ask that. That is exactly what we've done with the Isle of Man. So we shall see how that works in a couple of minutes. We've been assigned stand 6 at the Isle of Man, which is where there's a chart for that. I might not actually need to take that chart. Take that stand, sorry. Or I might be able to stay at the stand, but I might be in too much of a rush to backtrack and take it. Have a quick look. So stand 6, which is... Oh, actually, stand 6 would work really nicely for us. Yes, that would work well, because that has us then getting off at Bravo, straight in and park there, which is brilliant. Little Threat is a very short taxi, so need to start the timer once we've landed, and not shut down the engines too soon. Give it 3 minutes so we don't have thermal shock. Sebastian, the one thing that's frustrating many people at the moment, you can't avoid the walk around. That is correct. There is no way to get around it at the minute. Mad Max Pilot, so after Digma, we're going 360. Yeah, about that. That sounds good. Good afternoon to you, Mona. Good to see you. Forrest, have I reinstalled Flight Sim since the launch? I've not actually, no. No. So this is as it was. No ADC required. Why have they sent me that twice? Was that just to remind me how good I was? Right, that is our top of descent. Let's start heading down. So, thrust idle, over descent, and 100 blue. Flores, I've not flown the 330 yet. I'd love to do a nice 330 route. I just need to get some time to do it. Klaus, mate, thank you for the bits. Can I help you calibrate the TCA? It's really difficult to do in Flight Sim 24 rather than it is 2020. Right, I think we are going to have to get on with this on. Lots of people asking me for a TCA Thrustmaster calibration video, so I will do my best this week, Klaus, to try and put one of those out, because I know you're not the only one struggling with that. Warwick Learning, good afternoon to you. Great to see you on stream. Jayhawk says the best news is I've not installed it either, which isn't like you. No, Jayhawk. It is not. Kabir, when do I think Phoenix will release the Neo versions? Are they even working on Neo versions? I've not heard that. Dave, the A380 is not officially supported in Flight Sim 2024. I've not tried it. I've managed to spawn in it, but I've not taken it for a flight. Get the feeling that might crash. If you are enjoying our short flight this evening, guys, please do me a huge favour. If you're on YouTube, just hit that like button for me. Really does help the channel out. It's free. And yeah, really do appreciate that. And of course, if you are going to be purchasing stuff for either Flight Sim 24 or 20, then make sure you get on the Contrail store, and there's a discount code down at the bottom, save yourself some money as well. Not just for scenery, of course, but lots of other things as well, like the Entourage AI cabin crew that I use. So yeah. Hey Lucy, do I have rudder pedals? If so, which ones? Yes, I have the Thrustmaster TPR rudder pedals, which are obviously very, very nice. Definitely helps with crosswind landings. So Tarek says there are a few videos around, but some aren't explained. I've not seen any Tuareg. I'll play devil's advocate here. I bet it's messy because it's actually really difficult to get anything set up correctly in FlightSim 2024. Honestly, the controls page is one of my biggest pet peeves of FlightSim 2024. The scenery is amazing, the realism is great, but oh my word, there are bugs. Not even bugs, there are bugs, but there are annoyances, general annoyances. So yeah, for I've not had a chance to try career mode, no. Triple says career mode has its own kind of issues. So Sebastian, FlightSim 2020 with the Rex Atmos looks really, really good. It does. Atmos isn't available yet for 2024. It will be. It'll be interesting to see what it actually does, because I think it looks really nice as it is. Desktop Simulation says he deleted all the keybinds, bought someone's Spadnex, downloaded it, and it worked fine. Yes, that might be another way forward. Right. I'm not happy with our height, so let's speed this descent up. So we're in open descent, I've just wound that up to 90. Organ says there's a 40 knot tailwind on the finals for runway 26, just have to go around. That's fine, you can do 15 knots. The autopilot can't, but you can. Right, heading 360. Having a slight display issue here though. You see that? Doesn't seem particularly smooth. Right, let's extend that runway centre line then. So, go direct. And insert. Okay, reduce speed 250 knots, we're at 10,000 feet. We get our landing lights on, spoiler's still out. Clouds, check the temperature, anti-ice, we'll pop that on. Runway Fieldman, if you're on the 97% club, uninstall everything and you have to reinstall from scratch, I'm afraid. But at least the install isn't the same as Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, which took absolutely ages. Right, thrust idle over descent and 3000 blue. QNH is, where's the QNH? It is 1018. Typically, have I seen lots of jetways in the ground or in space? I've seen quite a few in space. Yes. So we're now just coming around. You can see this is the runway centre line. I want to be 3,000 feet just here. That will work nicely for us. We're cloud surfing at the minute. Anti-ice is on. Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Cabin crew, take seats for landing.
Right, activate the approach phase. Get that into manage speed. Start slowing down. Hey Roman, good to see you. VATSIM does indeed work for VATSIM 2024. We're on that now. Flores, it is Entourage from Say Intentions, the cabin crew. India Romeo Yankee identified. Sebastian, if you buy the Thrustmaster First Officer pack and the Quadrant add-on, is it the same as the Captain's pack? Yes, it is, yes. Just bring her around to the left a little bit. Nicely beneath the profile, as you can see. We're about 30 miles out, so just hoping we kind of get a view of the runway as we drop out of the clouds. Lucy, have I tried the base game 320 and 321 Neo? I have. I didn't like the performance of them. They were very, very performance heavy. I don't know if that's because they're streamed or what, but yeah, it wasn't. Didn't feel great. Didn't feel great to me. Twilight, how to rate the game 737? Haven't touched it. If all the doors are still attached to it, then it's great. It's a little bit bumpy. You can see the wind bobbing around all over the place.
Islandman traffic. Tango, similar established pilot, runway 66, Islandman.
How many miles out was that? I can't see an aircraft on TCAS. I didn't hear a report how many miles out it was. We're 24 miles out, we've got loads of time. Aviation with any FPS advice? I did do a graphic settings video recently, so definitely check
Islandman traffic, 70 Golf Tango, we are 4.7 Zimmy, Islandman.
Oh, he's miles in front of us. That's fine. That's fine. You're, I'm not going to be smelling your fumes. see how we're not flying a sort of straight line. We're wobbling around a little bit, which makes sense. We've got winds which are variable. We're in the cloud layer as well at the minute. I'm not sure you'll actually see anything if we have a look out the window, apart from maybe a few wind farms, which we've got those there. Very bright inside that cabin. Might be. Oh, I mean, actually, in flights in 2024, we shouldn't have any problem seeing the runway, should we? Or certainly seeing the taxiway. Is that a ship down there, maybe? I hope it's not an aircraft. But yeah, look, we're just swaying left and right. Cabin crew, 5 minutes to landing.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing. We will be landing in about 5 minutes.
Tomorrow, how would I rate beyond air traffic control to VATSIM? VATSIM was obviously live and preferred for me and many others, but beyond ATC is probably the best way you can probably train. That or Say Intentions. Say Intentions is also very, very good. I like the fact that nothing's scripted in Say Intentions. Right, so we've now got all glides on lock, Cat 3 to autopilot 1 and 2. Approach checklist. Bar F QNH is 1018. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimums are 240. Auto brake. I guess auto brake needed because it's raining. It's not the longest runway, and I want to get off. Engine mode selector is normal. And yeah, it's stowed. Say Toga, can I put a video on about anti-ice? Anti-ice is pretty straightforward. So if you're flying in the rain, if you're flying in snow, if you're flying in mist, if you're flying through clouds, basically anything that is water vapor, and the TAT temperature is below 10 degrees, but above minus 40 degrees, that is above, not below, above minus 40 degrees on the SAT, then you need anti-ice on. Nothing too special to say about that. Right, flaps 1, speeds checked. Flaps 1. Alpha Man traffic, EZ34 Alpha Mike establishing runway 26 ILS 12 miles.
Isle of Man traffic, runway 26 vacated.
Say Toga, so if it's less than 50, you don't need anti-ice. I know that seems a bit weird, but at that temperature, the ice doesn't accumulate. It's not sticky enough. It just bounces straight off the airframe, so you don't need it when it's that cold. Which I know sounds really wrong and weird, doesn't it? But that's just the way it is. Speed 180. Well, the runway's in sight. Look at that crosswind. At the moment, it's a 19-knot crosswind from the right. Could end up anywhere. Slope star. This approach altitude is 3,000 feet. Set. And flaps 2, speeds checked. Edgar Levy, just think about it. So less than minus 40 is minus 50. I know we're talking about minus figures, aren't we? So it's almost a bit backwards. Radar altimeter is alive. Say Toga, how do you know the temperature when you're cruising? So that is the SAT temperature, usually. But you've got two temperatures, TAT and SAT. Use TAT on the ground, SAT in the air. There's a quick way of describing it. Right, so let's go for managed speed, gear down, spoilers armed, flaps 3, speed's checked, flaps 3. And flaps full, speed's checked, flaps full. Landing checklist. So cabin is secured, go around altitude is 3,000 feet, can memo, got landing no blue. Okay, so you can see that waving around a little bit. Not quite the full black hole effect. We can just see the sort of see the land mass and the sea a little bit, but yeah, it's a full 14 knot crosswind at the minute. Isle of Man's always good fun. Remember to go around it straight out, 2,000 feet, left turn. Stable.
Above. Minimum.
Continue.
Light slow. 40, 30, 20, retard, drive.
Take that one all day long. Right, so spoilers for screen. Blue lights, forgot that. Decel. Reverse is off. Manual brakes. And that's one thing that I seem to get in Flight Sim 24 that you don't get in 2020. That is that almost the oscillations, the wind effects that you can see. It's not straight. You are essentially all over the place, as we were as we were today. It wasn't just an on rails landing. I really need to turn that thing off, don't I? So we're parking on the west apron. Stand 6. Q-Pilot says I find the wind weird in 24. Do you know what? I don't find it weird. I actually quite like it. I think it's good. It makes you work. Right, let's clean the aircraft up. It's a short taxi on stand. TCAS off, and also the radars, because we don't want to fry the ground crew. Nicely lit up as well here, no other aircraft around, everyone can see us. Turn the taxi light off. So I will put the replay on as well before I have to shoot, but if you have enjoyed it, guys, and you are leaving, please don't forget to leave a like on your seats. Yeah, really appreciate that. So this is freeware Isle of Man Airport, ported from 2020 into 2024, and seems to be all okay actually. Nothing wrong with it that I can see. The only problem with him standing there is his batons are... Can't see him. I'll just wait till he starts dancing and then stop the aircraft. That will have to do. Don't stand there, you numpty. Right. Parking brake is on. Yeah, so we'd probably need to leave it just another minute or so because it was a short taxi. You'd probably get away with it. It was over a minute after landing, I think, since I started the chrono. But yeah, you need 3 minutes, of course, to allow for the engines to shut down and cool down after landing. So that's all done. And yeah, let's throw the replay out then. Let me just disconnect from VATSIM, which we've done that. Thanks for flying alongside if you have today. Organ, I know has, so good to see him today. And with that, let me see if the replay in 2024 is going to work. So I'm still using SkyDolly for my replays. I think it's quick and easy and works for us. So yeah, that looks all right, I think.
Don't sink.
We'll go in for a nice little cabin view for the arrival. But yeah, enjoyed that. Good short flight, bit of a challenging landing as well, which is always good fun. These ones are boring, aren't they? Aurelia, glad you like the landing. Yazek, the PC pilot. So if you've got a step in the taxiways, I know exactly what you mean. You need to delete your rolling cache because that is usually what's causing an issue, and also deactivate any other scenery that you may have got around that area because yeah, it can cause a problem. So if anyone wants to get the scenery I've used today, Bristol is Pilot Plus scenery. Again, I think you can get that from the Contrail store, discount code on the bottom. And also this Isle of Man scenery that we're just about to land in on is freeware, and that was from flightsim.to under the flightsim 2020 section. And I've just basically dropped that into our community folder. FlightSim 2024, and it appears to have worked very well, don't you think? Well, that's looked fine. Yeah, enjoyed that. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed that. It is a shorter flight than normal today. Normally we do a flight on a Monday evening, but sadly I am busy tonight, which is why we couldn't do that. So my apologies, but at least we've got this. Flight in today. Huge thanks to our Easyjet Pilot channel members, as always, for your amazing support, and a huge thank you as well to those who flew alongside us. And I look forward to you on our next stream. They will of course be posted on the Discord server. That don't sink is annoying me. That never used to happen. Be posted on our Discord server, so get on our Discord server if you're not already. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thanks very much, everyone. Have a great Monday evening. See you all again very soon. Bye bye.
Don't sink.